Can you even imagine working your entire life, becoming a household name, a comforting face on morning television for decades, only to find yourself in your 60s, battling debilitating health issues, and suddenly being told you owe a crippling debt for a job you did 10 years ago? This isn't a hypothetical nightmare. This is the devastating reality for broadcasting legend Eamonn Holmes. In a painfully raw and honest interview, the 65-year-old GB News presenter has opened up about a secret battle that has cost him almost everything. A brutal multi-year war with the taxman, HMRC, that he says has ruined him financially. We've watched Eamonn navigate incredible highs and, more recently, very public and painful lows with his health. We've seen him struggling with chronic back pain, undergoing multiple surgeries, and bravely sharing his mobility challenges. But behind the scenes, he was fighting another battle just as terrifying. Speaking on the Beltel podcast, Eamonn didn't just share a grievance, he unleashed years of pent-up pain, frustration, and a deep, burning sense of injustice. He branded HMRC thieves and laid bare the catastrophic impact their ruling has had on his life. So, what on earth happened? The financial ambush that cost him everything. Let's break this down, because it's the kind of story that could send a shiver down the spine of anyone who is self-employed. For his entire career, spanning iconic roles at ITV, the BBC, and more, Eamonn operated as a freelance broadcaster. This is standard practice for many high-profile presenters. They are, in essence, contractors. They move between networks, take on different projects, and are responsible for managing their own taxes. Then, HMRC decided to change the goalposts, retroactively. Eamonn explained, "I'm still working because the thieving HMRC came after me and said, 'Do you know when we always said you were self-employed? Well, we thought about it and you're not self-employed and we want 10 years in back tax and national insurance.'" Just like that. A decision was made that upended his entire financial structure. They weren't just asking for tax moving forward, they demanded a decade's worth of back payments. The timing couldn't have been more cruel. Basically, Eamonn said, "At the most vulnerable time of my life, they wrecked me financially." While we were watching him grit his teeth through pain on TV, he was silently drowning in a financial crisis. The bill was astronomical. Eamonn revealed he has already paid a staggering £1 million back to the tax office. But the most heartbreaking part, it wasn't enough. To cover this sudden, crippling debt, Eamonn was forced to sell his homes. Think about that. The homes you build your life in. The homes that represent your life's work, your security, your sanctuary. Gone. "I had to sell my house in Belfast," he confessed. For a man so deeply connected to his Northern Irish roots, selling his home there is a gut punch that goes far beyond money. "We had a house in Portugal I had to sell," he added. "A place of escape, of sunshine, of potential retirement dreams, liquidated. And the nightmare isn't even over." After selling 2 properties and paying over £1 million, Eamonn revealed he still owes an eye-watering £250,000. "I appealed it twice and lost it twice," he said, the exhaustion evident in his voice. "Lawyers' fees are absolutely horrendous. That was something on top of health matters. This tax situation that is not over yet, it's thievery. I couldn't be more freelance." For Eamonn, the sheer injustice of the ruling is what stings the most. He argues that the very nature of his career defines him as freelance. He wasn't a staffer punching a clock for one company. "I couldn't be more freelance," he insisted, pointing out his long history of working for various broadcasters and publications simultaneously. He's not looking for sympathy, but he is looking for fairness. In a previous interview, he highlighted the painful reality of his freelance status. He never received holiday pay or sick pay. If he didn't work, he didn't get paid. Yet, he's now being penalized as if he had all the protections and benefits of a full-time employee. "It's like they have taken away everything I ever worked for," he stated simply. The actress loophole that makes it all worse. And here is the part of the story that just pours salt into an already gaping wound. Eamonn watched another colleague, a fellow ITV morning host, face a near-identical challenge from HMRC and win. He pointed a sharp, frustrated finger at the case of Lorraine Kelly. Eamonn remarked, "And yet Lorraine Kelly is deemed to be freelance because she's not really Lorraine Kelly. She's an actress who plays the part of Lorraine Kelly," she said. He's right. In 2020, Lorraine Kelly successfully avoided a massive £1.2 million tax and national insurance bill. HMRC argued, just as they did with Eamonn, that she was effectively an employee of ITV. But Lorraine's legal team won on a staggering argument that the Lorraine Kelly we see on television is a theatrical artist. They argued she isn't just being herself, she is performing the role of a friendly, bubbly presenter named Lorraine Kelly. The judge agreed, ruling that she was a theatrical artist and that the relationship with ITV was that of a contractor, not an employee. Let that sink in. Two hosts on the same network, in the same building, doing fundamentally similar jobs. One is ruled to be an actress playing a part, and she avoids a £1.2 million bill. The other is ruled to be a staff member and is financially ruined, forced to sell his homes. You can hear the raw disbelief in Eamonn's voice. He wasn't offered an actor loophole. He was just handed a bill that destroyed his financial security. As he concluded, the emotion thick, "It absolutely ruined me." When asked about these situations, HMRC provides a cold standard response. We take the well-being of all taxpayers seriously and do everything we can for those who engage with us to get their tax affairs in order, including by offering affordable payment plans. A payment plan. That's the robotic response to a man who just lost his homes. It's a heartbreaking story of a man who feels robbed, not by a criminal, but by the very system he's paid into his entire life. At 65, when he should be thinking about enjoying the fruits of his labor, Eamonn Holmes is still working, not just for the love of it, but to pay off a debt he feels he should never have owed.